Alright, so in this video, I have the function f of x, and what I want to do is I want to find the derivative of the inverse of f of x. And I'm going to be using the formula to do this. I could also just go step by step finding the inverse and derivative, but I'm going to be using this formula right here. So this is specifically when x is less than -1, so I'm restricting the domain because if I don't do that, then we have a parabola and we won't pass the HLT or the horizontal line test. So if we restrict the domain, this is when x is less than -1. So if this is the -1, then we just restrict it to the left-hand side of this parabola, and we do pass the horizontal line test. So this is why we have this restriction on the domain. All right, so now let's go about finding the derivative of this function. So what is the derivative of f of x? So that's just going to be f prime of x, which is equal to 2x plus 2. This shouldn't be too difficult. This is just 2. We bring that down, 2x to the power of 2 minus 1, which is 1. So it's 2x. And then plus 2, because this 1 goes down, becomes 2. 1 minus 1 is 0, so it's just 2, and the derivative of a constant is just 0. This is our derivative. We have now our inverse, which is going to be equal to, so we swap the x and the y values, we get x equals y squared plus 2y plus 3. We can complete the square here, so we can just do y squared plus 2y plus 1, and then minus 1 there, so that's just 2 equals x. Makes this y plus 1 whole thing squared plus 2 equals x, making this negative root x minus 2 minus 1 equals y. And this is negative because I got the positive or negative square root. Since we're looking at x is less than -1, we have a negative instead of the positive. So that's what we have. Now we can write that over here, making this negative root x minus 2 minus 1. So now we can go about using this formula here. Just piece everything together. So this is f of -1, which is just the inverse. And then the derivative of this is going to be equal to 1 over, so what's the derivative? That's 2 times something plus 2. That something is going to be negative root x minus 2 minus 1, which is the inverse. And I need more space for that, so I'm just going to erase this part and write that in. So this is negative square root x minus 2 minus 1 plus 2. So when we simplify this, this just becomes negative 2 root x minus 2 minus 2 plus 2. And this just becomes 1 over, this cancels out, negative 2 root x minus 2. And this is the derivative of the inverse function of f of x. So this was just another example of using this formula to find the derivative of the inverse function of f of x or g of x or something, so of a function. I hope you found this video helpful.